I couldn't believe what I was hearing when my boss said I couldn't take any time off with pay. It was shocking. I usually stand up for myself, but this time it was too much. She basically told me not to bother coming back. Hearing that, I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. I asked if she was really sure about her decision, which surprised her. Her eyes went wide with surprise. It was disappointing. My name is Nancy, and I just turned 28. I've been working at Candle Corporation for 10 years, which makes me experienced, even though I'm still young. My family isn't rich, but my parents took good care of me. As an only child, I didn't get a lot of new things. Most of my clothes were hand-me-downs from cousins or neighbors. Getting new clothes was rare, but I was happy with what I had. I had lots of love from my neighbors and relatives. I have great memories of going on picnics with my parents on weekends. Even though I didn't have much growing up, I'm still close with my cousins, and we talk often. I had a lot of love around me as I grew up. In 12th grade, I was the student council president and had good grades. My teacher thought I should go to college, but I didn't want to. I wanted to work for the government. My parents wanted me to choose a different job, but I went ahead and became a government worker despite their advice. I wanted to help my parents financially as soon as I could. But then my dad got very sick and passed away before I could do much for him. After that, I started taking care of my mom. We lived together and kept busy with everyday life. Time went by quickly, and I learned a lot while working. After 5 years, I became well respected at my job and lived comfortably. I was in charge of training new employees and sometimes handled important tasks for my boss. Plus, I received good bonuses, which allowed me to give my parents $600 every month. In my free time, I enjoyed going on trips with friends, coworkers, and my boyfriend. Then our boss changed, and the new boss was a woman, the president's daughter. People said she didn't work hard because she relied on her dad's money. The president wanted her to learn some important lessons about life, so he gave her a big job. Only the president and I knew about his plan. Many people in the company thought she didn't deserve the job and assumed she got it only because of her dad. The work atmosphere grew more and more tense, and it was starting to feel suffocating. Then trouble found its way to me. It happened when I made a cup of hot coffee for the new boss. She looked at it and snapped, "What's this?" "Are you trying to make me mad?" "I made it just like you asked," I replied. She gave me an angry look and threw the hot coffee toward me. "Ow, why did you do that?" I couldn't dodge it, so I held my right arm, which had been hit by the coffee, and stared back at her. "How is this what I asked for?" I said I wanted it warm with extra milk and sugar. "I made it warm with 2 cups of milk and 2 scoops of sugar," I explained. "It's too hot." "Normally, it's 4 cups of milk and 3 scoops of sugar," she snapped. She acted like her way was the only right way, forcing her preferences on others. "I'm sorry, I'll make you another one right away," I said. "This is why I don't like people who only finished high school," she muttered. "My dad told me you're good at your job, and everyone trusts you." "I have a lot to learn, I suppose. You only seem good because everyone here supports you." While she kept making snide comments, the pain in my burned arm grew worse. I just wanted to leave and cool it down. "I was excited to meet you after hearing my dad praise you, but what a letdown. I wonder how you impressed him," she added cruelly. When she said those mean words, a coworker tried to help, but I signaled that I was okay, not wanting to draw more attention. Later, that same coworker became her new target. Everyone she targeted ended up so stressed they quit their jobs. Now it seemed like she was targeting me. While I thought about what to do, she grabbed my burned arm and squeezed it tightly. "You're brave to ignore me, but don't think you'll get away with it. she hissed. I winced in pain. After seeing my reaction, she let go of my arm and told me to make the coffee again. I made an excuse and ran to the kitchen to cool down my arm. It was awful. After work, I went to see a skin doctor and got some medicine, but my arm didn't fully heal and left a mark. I started dressing in a way that hid it so others wouldn't worry. Since that day, she started bothering me even more. What's wrong with this paper? It's full of mistakes. Take your job seriously, she barked. What mistakes are there? I asked, trying to keep calm. She threw the paper at me. There can't be any mistakes. I checked it myself. It's annoying to be criticized with a red pen. I sighed at her childish behavior. Honestly, this paper needs to be fixed because it's not good enough. You came here without knowing much. Please admit the mistakes and learn, I said, trying to teach her as I had other new workers. But her pride got in the way. Don't argue, just do your job. I'm the boss, so I don't have to do this, she shot back. You're trying too hard to impress my dad, right? You came from a family without a dad, didn't you? I was shocked that she brought up my family. We had never talked about this before. You only have your mom now, right? Your dad worked hard in a poor family, got sick, and wasn't rewarded, she sneered. Let's not talk about personal stuff at work, I replied. Oh, I just wanted to chat a bit. You're so boring, she laughed. I couldn't hide my annoyance as she made fun of my parents. You're getting mad, huh? That's funny. My parents are amazing. You, who know nothing, can't say anything, she quickly retorted, noticing my change in tone. So that's how you really are, huh? Is it okay to treat the president's daughter like this? Maybe I'll tell my dad how you've been treating me badly. Fix the paper and hand it in today. I'm going to make sure you leave this place, she whispered as I walked away. After that, she kept being sarcastic, but I managed to teach her some basic things, like using the computer and different types of documents, although it was a long process. During a break, I sat on the rooftop bench, sipping coffee to relax and thinking about my future. Suddenly, my phone rang with an unknown number. Hello, is this Nancy? This is Sabu Hospital. Your mom was brought in urgently and is in critical condition. Can you come right away? My mind went blank, and I couldn't remember much after that. I left a note on my boss's desk saying I was leaving early and rushed to the hospital in a taxi. When I arrived, a nurse led me to see my mom. Mom, this can't be happening. There she was, looking peaceful as she slept. The doctor explained that she had collapsed at work, and it was touch and go when she got to the hospital. My mom's heart hadn't been strong since my dad passed away, and the stress must have taken a toll on her. I cried and hugged her tightly. After bringing my mom home, I called my manager to ask for my first paid leave ever. I'm sorry for leaving early today. My mom just passed away. Can I take about a week off for the funeral and everything? I asked. Oh, that's why you left early when I wasn't here, she replied coldly. Her tone hurt, especially at such a sad time. I won't approve any paid leave for you. I couldn't believe it. In all the 10 years I've worked here, I've never taken a single day off with pay. Wait, what? I've done a lot for this company. Shouldn't I be allowed to take time off with pay to say goodbye to my mom? You always challenge me. You don't need to come back, she said firmly. When she said that, I couldn't take it anymore. Are you sure about that? I'll take you up on your offer, I replied, hanging up without thinking twice. The funeral went well. I kept myself busy with tasks and sent thank you notes to everyone who helped, which distracted me for a while. She tried calling me many times, but I didn't answer. Later, the president called me, so I went to the office after 2 weeks. On my way to see him, Two coworkers comforted me. Sorry, I need to see the president first. Their kindness made me feel a bit better. It's Nancy. Can I come in? I asked when I knocked on the door. They let me in right away. Hey, it's been a while. I heard you've been gone for 2 weeks. That's not like you. I'm sorry. Let me explain. I told him everything, not holding back about how his daughter treated us. It must have been hard for him to hear negative things about his own daughter, but he listened. I'm sorry for my daughter's behavior, he said. To be honest, my wife and I spoiled her, and this is the result. It's okay, I replied. I think my parents might have felt the same way as parents. The president smiled kindly at me. Nancy, you're really amazing. My daughter's behavior was my mistake. I've talked to the people who quit in the past 2 weeks, and I can't apologize enough for that. This was the first time I'd seen the president look so troubled. Since you stopped coming to the department where my daughter works, things have been a mess, he admitted. The whole team even protested together the other day. Really? I didn't know it had gotten that bad, I said, surprised. So what's your plan? The president looked sad for a moment, but then he returned to his usual self. I need your help. When I looked into his serious eyes, I decided to help. Okay, I'm happy to help. That's when actions were taken against her. Not long after, the frustrated manager finally contacted me. When are you coming back to work? But didn't you tell me not to come? Stop that. Everything's a mess here. Come to the office now. I reluctantly changed and went to work, but when I got there, nobody was around. It was oddly quiet, like a weekend. Isn't it a weekday? I wondered. The silence felt strange. While I was alone in the office, I heard yelling and things being thrown from my department. I cautiously went to see what was happening. What's happening? I asked when I saw her causing trouble. She quickly turned and grabbed me. It's all your fault. Since you stopped coming, everyone else did too. Now I can't reach anyone. How will you fix this? I don't understand. Please don't blame me, I said calmly. She let go of me and pushed me away. You're so annoying. Even my dad won't help me. What's going on? How long has it been since everyone stopped coming? Just half a day. I've been answering calls, which I never do, and I don't know what to do anymore. She looked tired and messy. Her hair was a mess, and her nail polish was chipped. I noticed her jacket, which had angry phrases written on it. Seeing her, usually so arrogant, looking so upset, I couldn't help but laugh. Serves you right, I said. What did you expect? Nobody wants to follow someone who just throws their power around without real skills. She came closer, her face red with anger. Say that again. Do you want to get kicked out of the company? Well, I'd like to stay, if you leave. If you don't, you're fired. I'll take over this company. That's too bad for you. I just smiled. She looked surprised. You know you're fired, right? Yes, I do. I'll pack my things. I carefully walked to my desk, avoiding papers scattered on the floor, and started packing. Wait, are you really quitting? She asked. Yes, I am. Why? She seemed less confident now, almost desperate. Did you know it's against the law to deny paid leave without a good reason? It's the law. She looked pale, clearly upset, but I kept going. We're all human. I understand we might not get along, but that doesn't mean you can treat people badly. You're not fit to be a manager. I wonder what your parents are like. Who do you think you are, insulting my parents? You won't get away with this. Well, you insulted mine too, so you're not getting off easy either. We're nothing alike. You're terrible, she retorted. You said the same about those who left. You treated them badly, too. That's right. They made me feel worthless, so I made things hard for them. It felt good when they left. I sighed, looking down the hallway. She followed my gaze and muttered, "Dad, why are you here?" The president walked in, and she hurried over to him. "Father, there's been a misunderstanding." "No need to explain. I have proof of what you did." "No, they were jealous of my skills and set me up. I didn't do anything wrong," she protested. The president scolded her as she tried to defend herself. "I hoped the capable workers would help you improve, but under your leadership, our performance dropped, and we lost money. I trusted you, but it was a mistake." "No, if I hadn't been promoted, I would have quit," she cried. The president's serious attitude made her nervous. "I never considered letting you take over the company. This time, I'll move you to the countryside to learn from the basics. You'll be checked regularly, and the people there are reliable. Get ready." She turned pale, lying down and crying while laughing in disbelief. I cheerfully said, "Too bad." The next day, she left the company without anyone seeing her off. The employees, happy to have a day off granted by the president, returned to work without her, and the office became peaceful again. Meanwhile, she started over in a rural town with no modern comforts, where her family's influence didn't matter. Her coworkers there taught her strictly every day. Over time, she began to change, speaking politely and accepting feedback. Surprisingly, the president got an apology call from her, begging to return. "I've learned my lesson. Please ask the president to let me come back," she pleaded. I declined, stopped answering her calls, and eventually blocked her number. The president personally reached out to those who had quit because of her and asked them to come back. The company's performance improved quickly, even better than before. I got promoted to the manager's position she left, and everyone in the department was thrilled when the president chose me. The job is harder than I thought, and I sometimes feel overwhelmed. But with the support of my coworkers, I'm doing okay. Because of the burns I suffered, I received extra compensation on top of my manager's salary, making life more comfortable. Recently, my boyfriend proposed to me, and I'm thrilled. We're expecting a baby next year. Even though I'm only in my second trimester, we've already started preparing for the baby's arrival.